All right, everybody, welcome to today's stream. Give me 1 second. How can I? Where did I put my phone? My phone was over here. I gotta check it because I got my little kit. Here you go. I found it. Give me a second. Okay, all good. So guys, welcome to the stream. Today we're continuing and working on our extension that will inject the Crunchyroll subtitles within, romanized version of subtitles within Crunchyroll. And I was working last time. I was letting Claude Code generate an entire like code base. We kind of vibe coded this thing. I need to check the code and I need to check it to see what it actually created, because I was telling it to create like some sort of panel, and let me see what it did. I'm gonna come here, open my terminal. I'm gonna come with turbo, which is the monorepo that we're using. I'm gonna say turbo dev. Nope. Did it actually build it? I think it built it. It did build it. It did build it. I'm gonna come back to Vivaldi, come to extensions. I'm gonna reload the extension. And wait, I'm gonna reload the extension. Okay, why did it create it? Here we begin with the bugs, and I'm gonna come enter in here. Oh right. No, I kind of messed up. Let me go back. Okay. Wait a minute. What did it do? Let me see. Coming here, 36. Okay, this was good. Backend, all the backend stuff. Put this in here. Because I was working on the backend for featured backend architecture. Begin refactoring. Support MVC. And now let me see what it did. App extension side panel. Permissions. So side panel extensions Chrome. So is this like a new thing? So if I come here, I wonder how Edge actually reacts. Let me see. We can say Edge extensions, and I go to Subarashi. It didn't, because I moved the location, and we stopped using Edge because it kind of broke on us. So I'm gonna come here to the extension folder. Oh, build, and gonna create copy path. Gonna come back to the extensions. Command Shift G. Go directly to the build, and I'm gonna press select. Now that I have the selection in place, I can come back to extensions. See if, okay, it did. So reload. And if I come here and I say, oh, so there's like a side panel. Oh, Oh, that's not bad. Not bad. Okay. So let me see. Let me see everything. Let me study the code of what it ended up doing. Because apparently it is broken. So I got the API extensions. I got the endpoints series, Subarashi app. And I did tell it to use lit element. So I really have no experience with lit. I also need to add some sort of extension. Let me see what it ended up doing. Property. Unable to define parameter. Unable to result signature property decorator when we call that as an expression. We're gonna find this. Wait. Your old parser. And by the way, the problem with vibe coding such a huge amount of code and tell it to actually think for yourself is that you end up with this humongous ball of mess that you have no idea whether it's what's actually doing. So we already installed like a series of things. Now I gotta like pray that it actually worked, and that's a problem. I hate when my code base is not understandable. So let me go back to the manifest.json. First of all, close it, open it, and it says default side panel. So I gotta go to sidepanel.js. I don't like the way it is structured. So say sidepanel.ts. Okay, go so subarashi.app. Import components app. So this is the custom element, which is just made by lit decorators. This probably got, let us see the documentation, lit HTML. It's a simple modern safe, template. Okay, got it. And let me see here in custom elements state. Import state. Isn't there like an example in here, decorators? If examples, Next.js, of all the things, pages, index, simple greeter. But why would you have like a Next.js? This doesn't make any sense, because that's the thing that I'm trying to avoid. Hello world. Property, if you're using npm for client-side dependency, you should use the lit packages, not these bundles. Add lit to an existing project. Components overview. Define a component. Reactive properties. I see this really fast. Property. Public properties internal state. So this one is correct. I don't know why this is actually complaining. So before we start, before we continue, let me just inspect the entire thing. So this has like the private unsubscribe, state private, app state, private counter, store get state. Oh man, this is a problem, right? That now I have no notion of what it actually ended up doing. This.route. Holy shit. I think I'm just gonna go back. Even if this is like good code, I have no idea what this thing is actually doing. I got all of this TypeScript errors. I'm going to call this an expression. A bunch of errors. I can seem to convert the TypeScript. I was having an empty. Okay, so I gotta add experimental decorators as true. So let me see if I have my tsconfig file. Okay, the thing is that I probably do not have. I'm gonna target ES 2024 and this should be, is this working? It isn't, but I wonder something. What is my TypeScript version? They're close on releasing, yeah, 5.9.3, but it's strange that they haven't added the ES 2025 yet, but it's okay. So we're gonna have here no inputs were found. So it says apps extension. All right. So source ts. So you're telling me if I comment this, should it work? Yeah, it did work. So the thing is that I think this should now fix most of my stuff, right? App. It did fix it. So, okay, here's the thing. The problem is that I have no idea how is this rendering, and because it says side panel.html, side panel.html, oh, Subarashi app. I never get to see it. I never get to see it. The thing is that within Subarashi app, oh, this is something that I don't like. I cannot navigate. Import components app Subarashi app. Custom element Subarashi app. Load route. Storage. Storage local.get result key. It's not assignable to T, no. ST. Okay. Let us come back in here really quick. Can I inspect this? Yeah, I can. So I should definitely be console unsupported decorator location field. Okay, so I think that now that we have this like running, oh, it actually blew up. So I gotta go turbo build. And now that it's finally here, I can come back to close the source tab and come here to extensions. I'm gonna reload the entire extension here and probably come back to extension Subarashi. Oh, there you go. There you go. Not bad. So, okay. Let me see on here. I'm gonna come to extensions. I'm gonna reload the extension. Currently playing the worst nightmare, the Five Elders. Okay, this is okay. This is what I wanted to do. So I gotta create on the currently playing the. Let me see something in here. So here, side panel. Now I got the entry point, but I hate when to do this like in this thing. Because this is like the right, you load everything in here. So views, and create this. I love using the main convention. And no, let me just use app.ts. Yes. Now I'm gonna move it to the view section. Move. Yes. And now I got home, which is going to be index.ts. Yes. Episode detail. So here I like doing this. I know that there are people that prefer flat routes. I prefer to have them nested. So far I have never had issues, and it allows me to have a much more navigation through them. Like if you want to go to series, you got all the series lists. If you're gonna see the episode, you gotta go to series and then episode. So I'm just gonna rename this to series. Yes. And now I'm gonna say series list, and I'm gonna say list. Move the thing in here. And by the way, I always like for VS Code to confirm whether list view. What did I rename? Okay, this is the episode. So series, I'm gonna say episodes, and I'm gonna ask it to see detail. And now you know that a series, an episode is part of a series, and the detail view of the episode is part of the detail view. Now we're gonna come here and we're gonna say series list view. I'm gonna say index.ts because I'd like to have all of them like index. It depends a lot on the convention, so it's okay. But now we can see that the app is actually flowing a little bit better, and now we got like the components. There are better ways to structure this, but and now for example the router. I don't like the router to be here. In fact, I think the router should be outside components, models, services, side panel, state, okay, styles, okay, typings, okay, utils, and I'm just gonna create here components. So I don't know if having it on the components folder, this is different, right? So I'm gonna create something called panels, and I'm gonna move the side panel content. This is gonna break probably everything, so it's okay. No. Components, no. I want to move everything here to panels. Yes. And this is probably gonna break vid utils. You see, these are the things that happen whenever you like vibe code, and we're now actually taking more time to actually do things because now I'm trying to fix the error from, well, not the error, but not my styling that this entire thing actually does. So I think it's much better just to create a single entry, because now I gotta like understand the code, read it, see what's actually doing, and try to stitch things together. So that's why it says like productivity doesn't work at all. And now I'm seeing that I'm eating all of my precious time trying to fix it. Yeah, it's gonna be labeled like this. So something I'm not liking about lit, it's just my first time using it, is that I don't have a statical view way of navigating the episodes. So I'm gonna ask this. I'm currently using lit and custom HTML elements, and I'm seeing one of the downsides is that I don't have coloring nor linking within my LSP in the code editor. Meaning, for example, that if I have a component called Subarashi Home View, I cannot press F12 to navigate to it. I also don't know if the HTML is valid or not. How can I fix this? There should be some way that this has probably been fixed, because this is not something that I have. Because having like a React component is much easier for us to actually create. So, planning approach, auto apply code. Let me see what's actually going to end up doing. Anyways, I'm gonna give myself a timer of 10 minutes. This is something I've been doing recently. I kind of like, I create like some sort of time box whenever I'm planning on taking a certain path. Instead of me wasting hours and hours, I just set myself a time box. If it doesn't work that way, then I just stop doing it and I try a different approach. So I'm gonna say 10 minutes. Wait, timer 10 minutes for stop. So if by the time I haven't like figured out how the code works, then probably I'm just gonna come back. Subarashi router, because now I have all this cognitive load that I gotta take care of. And yes, code is code at the end of the day, but maintenance is the number one problem. That's why we create a lot of the architectural patterns. Not because the code is more efficient, it's just because we gotta read it and we gotta introduce changes. Remember, code that you ship, and I remember hearing this from the Primogen, and I think it changed my outlook on this. Code that you ship is the kind of like the liability for your future self. It's a way for you to actually work on it on the future. So I'm gonna create the side panel.ts. It just imports the components view app. And if we come here, this is broken right now, which is apparently another problem, because now I don't even have this working. Okay, components. I don't like this. No, the router should be here. Why is it? Oh shit. So delete. Views should be outside. Home, series shared. Okay, models. I don't know what are they using models for, but it's okay. Views. Let me see app.ts. Side panel. You see, I'm gonna start liking these things. Okay, side panel. Views. App. So now the app is loaded. Okay. And I hate, so one thing that I don't like is again like defining the header and everything in here. It's not for a bad reason. Remember that each one of us have their own styles of doing things. State. Nope. State. Store. And here it's going to be in the components folder. I like uppercase. It's because of the React and Svelte convention and everything. Series. And it just makes it easier to distinguish between components, header, and index.ts, index.ts. Like previously, this was like a bad idea because the LSP wouldn't pick it up of either TypeScript or VS Code, but now it kind of works. So import router, Subarashi router. I leave the router here because they may change. And they say components shared. Okay, so no. We're gonna move it here. Toast. And we can apply something called atomic design, which in practice, in theory it looks good, but in practice it's also like a big mess as well. It is. And to be honest, readability gets impacted sometimes. You do, especially like for heavy websites, you do save a few dozens of kilobytes of JavaScript. But what was the thing that I was trying to? Oh, the toast, right? Yeah. So 4K shared, no, components, toast. There we go. So, guys, something really important. You got to be careful. You probably, if you are aware of this, you're probably seeing that I'm importing each component individually, and that I'm not doing something called the barrel exports. Like for example, import from components, and then I would have like header and toast in a traditional like JavaScript framework application. The reason I'm not doing that is because this thing destroys tree shaking. It destroys it. It doesn't know how to pull the right thing, so you get everything bundled together. And if you have like for app, it may bring the entire components tree, and that's not something that you want. That's something that's going to create like a lot of issues if you create like a humongous package manager. So I think that we got a little bit in here. Let's continue back to the ChatGPT. Just as a quick reminder, we're currently working on a way to inject subtitles within Crunchyroll. And what we're doing is that we are kind of refactoring our app a little bit. We were creating some of the views for us to finish the MVP. We kind of vibe coded it. The problem is that I didn't specify all the architectural decisions that I wanted to do. So it kind of created like everything that it wanted. And I didn't want to use some sort of library like React or frameworks like Svelte and Angular, although now I consider React a framework more than anything else, because I just wanted to do something different. And you can get proper color in lit template. You need two things: ATS plugin that understands HTML templates. Definitely type that register your custom elements. So the editor is LDVS code lit plugin. Okay, let's see. Lit. Let's see if it actually finds it. Lit HTML. Okay, which is the one that I should use? The one has 4.5 stars. Literally. HTML inside of JavaScript syntax tag templates. So just using, okay, I think this is the one. Trust publisher and install. Okay, when you get tag name of completion, ensure types know your tags of 12 works. And register your elements. Okay. Add the TS plugins, lit plugin, compiler options. But plugin TypeScript. Let me see. Let's see what happens in here. Even with lit tooling, is this a valid attribute for customizable when you generate metadata? Custom elements manifest. Wait. Oh. Nice. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna add this. Bun add work workspace. Filter. Bun install filter. Okay. Alright. So I'm just gonna say bun add filter. And this is gonna be Subarashi extension. I'm gonna add lit plugin D. So this one should TS lit plugin. Okay. Come back here. I'm gonna say TS lit plugin. So now it should actually install the lit TS plugin. So what I want to do in here is that, again, I just want to have some good autocomplete. So it should have the compiler options. I didn't know that this had like a plugin section. Never used it. Never used it. Name. Okay, he got it. Actually got it. So, oh. Okay. Restart TS server. So what I just did, I pressed Control P or Command P. Okay, this is stop. And okay, this was good. I think my little boy is almost waking up. And okay, this was something that I was gonna do anyway. So then reload or reload VS Code or TypeScript, restart TS server. So let me go and see the documentation. Okay. You start getting diagnosed from TS-led plugin. The HTML is available from the npm registry. If you're using npm, you can use a late HTML setup. So install from the npm registry. npm init, development, ID plugins, VS Code plugin. Okay. Marketplace. Oh, so this is the one. Lit plugin. This is the official extension. Okay, I'm going to install it. Continue. So I'm going to uninstall the one that we just had. Thanks, Matt. I'm going to install it. And I'm going to open link. I'm going to install Rune Melson. Yes, I am. Okay, so I should probably be much better now. Oh, there we go. I have 12 forks now. Nice. 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 I think we're good, guys. We're good. So, okay, we did spend some time like trying to come up with these things. Router, Subarashi router, panels, content main. I'm gonna move side panel here, and I'm just gonna move main and move side panel in here. Yes. So the other thing we're gonna see episode, what is episode? No, route. No, I actually like moving all of this to refactor. This is because this isn't C# or Java. We don't need this to be, so move to file. So I'm gonna say types here. Refactor. Move to file types. I'm gonna move it here. And refactor. I'm gonna move it refactor. Move to file. I'm going to move it to types. Now that we have all of this, I think we can get rid of this new folder. We don't want a lot of files. We want the least files as possible. And we got like the service thing, which, I mean, it can work, but like for the front end, I rarely try to use any of these things. Episode service, episode or no, I think it did work. It does work. What does the get context thing do? Creates a new, okay. It also creates a new, new client. A new service, fetch recent, fetch series by ID. Okay guys, I'm gonna install something called Oxide TS. And if you see, is it here? So Oxide TS, for those who don't know it, will add a result type, much like Rust. You're gonna see here, it handles the result. You got like success and errors. And wait, Oxide TS, this one. This is actually pretty good, and we're using it in production for a sliceable app, and it's working really well. Been using it in several of my projects, and it's pretty good. Pretty good. And we got this services thing, which it's okay. It's okay. I particularly don't find the front end too complicated to make it more complex than it is. Services shared, state, store, styles, okay, typings. There's usually like a gazillion things. Utils, save route, URL parser, browse Crunchyroll URL. Okay, let's go to the main thing. So I want to get want to come here to views, remove the app.ts, which is the main app. We got the header. This is actually like a layout. It's maybe more like a layout. So we got the header. See here. We got some CSS. Header, class title. This the title, property, Subarashi. Okay. We got the Subarashi header, which I suppose we're gonna clear. Fun build. No, turbo build. See if it actually works. It should blow up in all of the senses. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna come back here. Come here. Go to read config. And we're gonna see source main.html. And this is not. Let's see panels. Main.html panels. Content.ts. Side panel. Panels. Side panel. Source. Panels. Main.html. Panels. Content.ts. Let me see if this works, because I know that they are kind of a little bit brittle. No, it doesn't. Can I resolve from Subarashi router? So components. This is a router, right? So the thing that I don't like in here. Yeah, the router shouldn't be here. Nope, it should be on the views app. I'm gonna move it here. And I think that it should go here, outside of any folder. You see, this is when you actually begin killing yourself on the MVP. Router and home. So it should be this. No, actually it should be this. So we're gonna come list view and a series list. series, episodes, detail. There you go. You see something way cleaner, way cleaner. I'm gonna clear here. I'm gonna go again. Let us TypeScript continue with our cannot resolve Subarashi router from app.ts. This editor should actually complain about everything. Resolve router from app.ts. Oh, right. Clear. Guys, I think I'll be closing the stream in about 10 minutes because I gotta work on my day-to-day job and I gotta finish it. I gotta finish a couple of things before the end of the week, so I can have like more time next week to stream. So I'm gonna have state store in here. You know what I would like to do. I would like to use aliases. Hate to configure this. So let me see. Is it in here? Path. No. I think it should be in here. Paths. Yeah. I always forget. Let me see another episode that I have. tsconfig base tsconf JSON. Yeah, it's like this. So path's gonna be like Subarashi state, and we're gonna use it. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm adding an option that allows me to create a, let me see, it's here, source state. I think it's like this, right? Whenever, because yeah, I should have it. So for no, wait, my bad. My bad. So I should come open the key. There you go. No, how was I defining it? Yeah, exactly. Paths like this. Okay, this should work. Now, I should come back in here and say Subarashi. Haha, there you go. And store. You see, now it becomes way clearer. And something really important about this is that this method does not break tree shaking. It just makes your imports way cleaner to actually do. And we can just define it in TypeScript. There is an Node.js version now that it works, that you use the sharp sign or the number sign. Say something like Subarashi state. But you know, if TypeScript supports it, it's okay. We're not going to come out of TypeScript. So get a Crunchyroll. We're going to use the utils as well. Okay, we're going to add the utils. Duplicate Subarashi utils and state utils. I think it's in here, right? Yeah. So we're going to have it as well. Oop. Subarashi utils. And we're going to do the same for services. Services, source, services. Do the same thing for API. Copy. I love this thing. You see? Subtitle. And now we got Subarashi state store. And the good thing is that if I press F12, I can just go and navigate into it. And let me see. What else do we have? Got the home view. which I have no idea what this thing is actually doing. Unsubscribe subtitle service. App state. This is a reducer. Okay. Return HTML. This app state error. Okay, so this is currently playing. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. They're knocking on the door. I'll be right back. Hola, Esther. Buenos días. I'm having so much fun while building this thing. Like, really, a lot of fun. So, home, Subarashi currently playing. Let me see. Subarashi currently. Custom element. This was the. Oh, this was home. But wait. Home. Oh, got it. So it's currently playing. So it's going to be here. Oh, another important, very important one is going to be components. So a lot of the when you're creating the tsconfig paths, something you wouldn't pay a lot of attention to is that if you don't add the asterisk, give me 1 second. Muchísimas gracias. De verdad. Entonces nos veríamos el viernes, ¿verdad?
El viernes yo creo y ya hasta que vuelva yo creo.
Súper. De verdad que muchísimas gracias, Te.
Nada, vosotros.
Pasa muy buen día.
Igualmente.
Y nos vemos en un par de días.
El viernes.
Dale, cuídate. Gracias. Okay, we're back. And my boy just woke up. He decided to wake up. Guys, give me 1 more minute. Let me look for the little one. So guys, I think that I'm just gonna I'll have to shut down the stream. But here was the thing that I was playing. We're gonna continue either later today, which I hope so, or tomorrow. The thing that that I was telling you is that whenever you are working with the TS paths, and you can see that I always look for examples because configurations is something that it's always very problematic, right, and troublesome. You got the components, right? And the components, I mean, you got the path. You define the key. What is the key? This key is going to be kind of the path that you're going to define, that you're going to see in here. If you add an asterisk at the end, that means that you'll tell TypeScript to use the entire directory that comes after it. If not, then it's only going to include the file that you're going to ask for. For example, if I only specify components, you're going to see that for the currently playing, import Subarashi components, I cannot navigate anything else anymore, right? Because I'm not telling the TypeScript to actually continue it. But if I add the asterisk in here, I will be able to navigate to the other part. The same thing goes in here. If I don't specify it, then I'm just only telling it to include the components folder, and it's gonna crash. It's gonna say cannot find module or type declaration from side effect import off. Of course, you got another method. Now it's gonna be fixed because I added the asterisk. Once it reloads the TS server. If it doesn't, I can just do this. Components currently playing. If it doesn't want to do that, I can just come back here and say Control P or Command P in Mac, bigger than, and says, and look for restart TS server, and then it's just gonna, well, I have a typo, and it's just gonna go and look for it. So why doesn't want to? It was working right now. Components currently playing. It should work. I'm just gonna reload window. It should pick it up. It should pick it up. Jesus Christ. Subarashi components. I did define it correctly. Source components. Oh, I didn't save the TS config JSON. My bad. So you got now currently playing. You see that it works? The thing is that another option that you have is that you can come back in here and create what we call the barrel export, which is create an index.txt file and say export from currently playing. I'm gonna add the start, and this can also work. You can come back in here, remove this. This is what we call the barrel export, and now you'll have everything under a single components here, just single components import. But I advise you to against this at least most of the time. So at least on the front end, I try to avoid this, because I used to do this because the import statements were like 100 times clearer. But the problem is that when you create the bundle with V, it's just going to balloon itself up. Why? Because whenever you do a star export or an import, tree shaking doesn't always work. And not even tree shaking. The problem is not tree shaking. The problem is bundle splitting, which is more important in this case. But because the difference between bundle splitting and tree shaking is that tree shaking removes unused part of the codes, and bundle splitting, what it does is that it will bundle and group the code based on the routes. That's my kit. It's actually doing all of that noise. So it's very important for you, because the problem with that is that the initial payload of the page, the FCP, the first contentful paint, is going to take a way long time, because you're sending a lot of unused JavaScript to the browser. and that's what you want to avoid. And let me see, app episode service. In this case, since we're working on an extension and everything is loaded on a single file, I think we could potentially get a much improved performance this way. But again, since I don't think vid is going to be doing any bundle splitting, I don't think so unless like I install like a vid plugin for lit. I don't think it's gonna do any route splitting, which is something that you really want. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that we're very close on making something that we just prove ourselves that having this thing vibe coded from the ground up is just a very big problem when you don't give it like a. Oh, right. This is another problem that we may face, and it's that Vite may not may not pick up the paths, which I gotta look for an extension. Let me give me a second. Got it here. So I worked it on another project. Make it a little bit bigger. This was my last startup, by the way. It's called Alert Down, and I did work for a sizable time. Let me look for the beat config file, remix app feet, and nxtx beat paths. Right, I was using nx. I don't want nx. I need to use ts config paths. Beat ts config paths, and I want to install it. Oh, okay. So that we have a new version, which is version 6. Bun add ts config paths. We're gonna. Oh wait. Should add the D flag so it adds it to the development, not to the main package.version. So something really important you wanna avoid and you wanna always use is that you're gonna see that you have the dev dependencies and the dependencies. The main difference is that one you use it for the development and the other one is that you use it for normal ones. I mean for the actual application. And this is very important because whenever you are going to send you're gonna create like the final JavaScript or your final project, which is all bundled, tidied up, and all together, there may be instances in which the development files may end up in the main in your main JavaScript. It's not always the case, but you know the JavaScript is kind of also kind of quirky, and also you're gonna have a way smaller node modules whenever you're sending in production in case of Node.js apps. So that's why you want to have them like separately, and you're just gonna have like a smaller build overall and way more performant. So another thing that we should definitely cover is that, let me see, here. We're gonna import. Let me see, because they probably made a lot of changes. Okay, here's the import that we want to do. ts config paths, and we want to add this to the plugin section. Define config. Add this at the very beginning. I think that read works on a continuum basis, right? I mean from left to right. Webpack was the one that had the inverse order, which I knew that it could actually confuse a lot of people. Confuse me. I'm gonna go again, turbo build, and it actually broke again. Okay, the good thing is that we have now a different problem. So that means that it did get the list item. It actually did register the TS path. Okay, so this should be list item. And I can come here to Subarashi components. List item. And that should be. I can clear the file to rebuild. Again. I just want to finish this thing for. So it says episodes. Episodes detail. Models episode. Okay, another path that I love on doing is coming here and adding a Subarashi types. And you're gonna see here that I'm just gonna define one because this is only for development. You can just import everything into a single typings file. And I can just refer it to here. Subarashi types. And then we add it. Subtitle service. We can have Subarashi services. Subtitle.service. And the store Subarashi state store. And I think we got this. We're getting it better. Okay, I think now it did compile. We're going to come back to the Vivaldi folder. I am going to come here to the extension. I'm going to reload the extension. It says side panel file path must exist. So that means that in our manifest.json, I go to the build. I got to come here to panels. Main.html. Default pop-up, it's going to be panels main HTML .html side panel going to be panels side panel .html JS content.js and main.html. So I gotta move everything in here from, because this is probably gonna break the entire thing. So I'm just gonna leave it like this and come back to the vidconfig.ts file. This is the input and output. Or not. Probably just, nah, probably I'm just gonna leave everything like that, like I was doing. Panels. I'm gonna come now to vidconfig. Or side panel.html. I got the name and the extension, right? If asset.info, return assets. Right. This is the static copy. The problem is that this is not gonna work. This ain't gonna work. I'm gonna say turbo build, but I'm gonna come say here. I'm gonna say reload. No episode detected. It didn't work because the JavaScript file is on the top over here. And we're gonna be continuing later on. So I would like to thank you for the stream, guys. We'll catch up on the next time.